either runners. Of yeah, you know what I mean. And it seems like we are about to start then. So yeah, one quick note about the prologue. Prologue you learn like all the action of the game, like climbing, jumping and dashing. And we are constantly jumping because every jump boosts us a little bit forward, so we can save 1 to 2 seconds throughout that entire prologue, which is around 45, 44 seconds, 43 seconds long. Depends on how well you play.
Nice motivation right at the start of the run. You can do this, guys.
Yeah, this entire game in its story is about like motivation and getting over your problems. So yeah, they're starting with chapter 1, which is Forsaken City, a very straightforward chapter. They're just like, in a speedrun it's more like getting used to all the different speed tech and stuff, because you have to use everything here and there. So do we want to go real quick over all the speed tech in the game?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I want you to go over it.
Alright, I'm not I don't know like that too good on the wording, but you can dash and then jump, and if you do a diagonal and then a dash, that's a wave dash, right?
Yeah, from the air performed, like of a jump performed, it's a wave dash, and grounded performed, it's called a hyper dash.
Yeah, it's a hyper. And then you can dash and dash upwards and jump, and that's a wall bounce. And if you just do a normal jump off a wall, that's a wall kick.
Yeah. And then you can also do like climbing. Once you climb towards on a wall, you have, I already learned earlier this stream, you have 4 jumps upwards. After that your stamina runs out, then you have to rely on neutral jumps like you will see on TeDeMos screen you just saw on that screen in the last screen. You have to do neutral jumps because it don't waste stamina. And what a neutral jump is, it's technically you don't press any direction, so like in the neutral, that's like a neutral position, and then you don't kick off that wall that much, and then you can press back to the wall and gain height with that if you do it fast enough. It's a little bit hard to explain, but you just have to do it once and then you will automatically understand what the mechanic behind it is. So chapter 2...
yeah, you're gonna see a lot of the runners be holding down, which actually increases your downward momentum.
Yeah, when you're falling, especially like longer sections downwards, you can like double up literally your speed. It's the same speed if you would dash downwards. So in this chapter we are getting a new game mechanic called those dream blocks. Can you explain real quick what dream blocks are for our lovely chat?
Yeah, so for dream blocks, the way it works is you will dash into it, and then it will continue the dash for as long as you're in the dream block, and it will give you the dash right after exiting. And there's also a mechanic that isn't used in this run, but it's used heavily in the B-side, where you can grab onto it right after leaving. You can also wave dash out of dream blocks, but I'm not quite sure how that works.
Yeah, also one interesting thing, I actually didn't know that you can grab onto a dream block once you get out of it, and I actually played through B-side, but I never used that technique.
Maybe it tells you at C-side then.
Okay, yeah, that can be a thing. So yeah, I didn't know that. So later on in this chapter, we're already seeing on various screens, like on every screen actually, there's Madeline, this Madeline part. So Madeline is like another part of that Madeline, which breaks out in this chapter. And now she is chasing us with a 3-second delay. She copies our movement, and we have to run away from her. It just adds a lot of stress to that game. In a casual playthrough, in a speedrun, we are so fast, it don't matter. You just have to route it properly, properly, so you get around Madeline. And yeah, that's it.
All the runners are very close to each other. It's nice to see a really close race here.
Yeah, Mark is a little bit behind because he's a less experienced runner, but all the other runners have a time around like between 40 and 45. So yeah, they will probably go apart from each other later on in the later parts of the game, because that's where the difference is between most runners. But so far they are doing all three very good, like putting on a nice show. So chapter 3 is going to be the hotel, which is a huge spike up in the difficulty. Like chapter 1 and 2 were fairly easy, but this chapter is starting to get hard. So in this chapter we have those dust bunnies, and they are moving in cycles. So whenever you transition into a room, they will always have the same starting position. And whenever you die, they have another starting position, but always the same. So they are like technically 2 different cycles. One a transition cycle and one a death cycle. And if you want to like have good backup and want to be optimized and more consistent, you gotta learn both like strats. Like you have to change up your strat a little bit on the death cycle than on your transition cycle. And yeah, that's one thing that makes this chapter hard in a speedrun. And also like every slight mistake mess up the cycle, so you gotta adjust it yourself how to deal with it. So yeah, this is a very like not newcomer friendly chapter. It's like probably the worst for newcomers, but yeah, these runners are more experienced, so they're getting through it very good so far, I have to say.
Yeah,
Like,
really
Sefi
clean skipping the crystal by Sefi on the top there.
Yeah, you can do this by doing an extended hyper dash. So what means extended? Extended just means that once you use your dash, you like have to stay a certain amount of frames on the ground to like the game recognize that you are on grounded and that you get your dash back. Because normally you won't get your dash back until you get a crystal or touch the ground. So when you do like an hyper or wave dash, we just time our jump a little bit later, so we have our jump after that hyper dash, which means we can go over huge gaps and make further distance. So yeah. Now huge mesh section. Do you want to explain it really quick what it is? Like also in the story,
yeah.
in the chapter.
So there's 3 different types of furniture. There's the sheets, there's the books, and there's the what's the other?
Towels.
Towels, right? I always confuse the towels and the sheets for some reason. But so every time you clear one of the 3 parts, it will get rid of one of the furniture. Eki doing a really nice spike jump there. And once you clear all 3, you are allowed passage into the elevator. And all the paths that the runners are going to be using are the same, because it's down, top, and then middle. And that's so that because Oshiro, for the first clear, he's right by the bottom left area. Second clear, he's you just hold down and you take 1 dash to the right, and then you're right there. So it's a really convenient and fast method.
Yeah. Also, we already heard the first time spike jump. So I try to explain it really quick. So you're technically not jumping off the spikes, you're jumping off the wall behind the spikes. But how does that work? So listen to me. Spikes only have a hitbox when you are moving towards them. And as long as your movement is going away from a spike, it don't have a hitbox for you. So we use that to our advantage to get behind the wall and go around the edge and jump off the wall while we are constantly moving away from the spikes, and that's how we perform a spike jump. And it's a very cool technique in the game, which we will see in various places throughout the entire run.
We saw a lot of patience by TeDeMos on the bottom left. He was just waiting for the cycle to get out of the way. it's really important just to minimize deaths, and sometimes you have to wait if you mess up a little bit. But that's a lot better than retrying room.
Like, deaths are very costly in this game. Like, you will respawn fast and stuff, but it depends on how far you have gone into the room already. And yeah, have the ability to wait in a speedrun is sometimes very tough to like have. Like, I sometimes unable to wait and just jump into something that kills me. And
Great
now
save by
Oshiro,
Aki there with the neutral jumps.
now Oshiro is the last part of that run, or of that run, not of the chapter. And technically, it's now Oshiro was is the owner of the hotel. Now he becomes like a very angry ghost who wants to charge at us and kills us. And yeah, what he's technically doing, we have to go through these rooms normally, like through every other room. But now with Oshiro, he's tracking our height, and after a certain amount of time, he's going to charge at us and tries to hit us. But if you're good and like know how to deal with it, you most of the time have no problems with Oshiro. But optimizing these Oshiro rooms is very hard, because every slight difference in your routing makes Oshiro appears on another height of the screen. And yeah, it's very hard to get through these rooms. But so far, like, Sefi is is doing a really good job and just finished the chapter.
Yeah, and you can also use Oshiro as a bounce point to give yourself an extra bit of height sometimes.
Yeah, it's so far not really used in the optimized threads, but if you fail once or twice and you then jump off Oshiro, like, it's a nice save, it feels very cool. Now in chapter 4, do you want to explain real quick those new game mechanics we have there?
Yeah, so in chapter 4 you have strong winds, so as you can see Sefi is getting blown to the left. And you also have bubbles. Good time to introduce those. So bubbles can be fired early by pressing the dash button, and they will basically function as a dash. In fact, in one of the seasides, you're able to use the bubbles to wall bounce off of.
Oh, okay, interesting. And also, like, after you went into a bubble and got launched with the bubble into a certain direction, you have the bubble stops, like, boosting you into a direction, you have a dash afterwards, so it's technically like an additional dash in the air. I will explain. Then are those movement blocks. They start moving once you touch them, like either climbing on the left or right, or like standing on top of it. And there are sometimes blocks you can like say which direction they are going. Like when they're going left, you can press a button technically, or you see now on Sefi's screen, he's standing on the top, and now he can choose which direction it's going. So he use the block to go downwards. And yeah, that's also a very interesting game mechanic in the game, but most of the time in the speedrun we want to skip those screens where we have to use those blocks, because they're moving so slow and we don't have any time for that. But those skips are sometimes very hard. Like later in the game there's one skip you can do, it's very hard, it's a very hard skip to perform.
Yeah, you get a lot of momentum, and it's in Summit, and it's pretty hard to pull off, but it feels really good when you pull it off.
Yeah. Also, one real quick thing how momentum works in this game. So you know all these different speed tags we have, like wave dash and hyper dash and stuff. And if you combine that with a moving block you are standing on, you gain like extra speed from that block. Depends on how fast it moves. So yeah, momentum really works well in this game, which is very important. Like it feels so amazing playing fast through this game. Yeah, momentum is very well made in this game. So shoutouts to the developers.
Yeah, and as you saw on Teddy's screen there, you can do a extended hyper off the end of the pink cloud there, and it'll just bring you right through, and you don't have to go to the topmost area. and then another extended hyper there, and you skip 2 whole blocks.
I think it's not a hyper, it's a dash jump. So,
oh,
like,
a dash jump, yeah.
Yeah. Like, we didn't explain dash jump. Dash jump is like the same as a hyper, but not doing it diagonal down, like diagonal downwards, just like doing it to the left or right. And the difference between a hyper and dash jump gives you more height but less distance, and the hyper gives you more distance, way faster but less height. Like you jump very low with a hyper. So both has their usage, and if you time it correctly with a cloud jump, you can gain a lot of height, you can maintain your dash. So yeah, it's a really cool way to move. Very cool movement option we got there.
Oh, there's another mechanic coming up soon, snowballs. So snowballs are like little Oshiros, kind of, and they spawn at your height, and they'll just come right into your face, as you can see on Teddy's screen. But you can also use them for bouncing, but most of the time you're just gonna avoid them. And if you know when you're coming, you can manipulate their vertical positioning so that it's not as annoying. Sefi entering Mirror Temple, so that red bubble is like a blue bubble, but it goes on infinitely in any direction. Coming up here is one of the harder skips. He gets it first try. That skip's going 2 rooms to the left. I believe it is a reverse.
There are like, let me explain it real quick because it seems like you are not very used to that. But that's okay. Like you're just happy with being here and commenting, so don't worry. So there are 2 ways to do this skip. Either way, you can do a wave dash off of that block where you don't have to time it because of the height of the block. The other thing you can do is to wait a little bit until the block moves a little bit up, and then you can do a normal hyper. And you can also do a reverse hyper, what I think you were about to explain. So yeah, there are different ways. I think the easiest one is just doing a wave dash, but you can do everything you want.
Yeah, Teddy went for a wave dash there.
Did you already explain red bubbles? I wasn't.
Yeah, so red bubbles extend infinitely, and they can also destroy hidden walls.
Yeah, and you can also dash out of them, but you have then no dash left. So they're a little bit different to green bubbles, but very similar. Also upcoming on Sefi's screen is the first Seeker, and Seeker are like these monsters, and we will see them a lot often in this chapter. Don't worry. And what they're technically going to do later on, they will, once they see you, they will charge, they will aggro on you and trying to charge at you. So they see you and then they track you and they will charge whenever onto your direction. You can dodge them fairly easily, but sometimes very hard. You can also jump off their head to get your dash back and to like get a little boost and stuff. And yeah, they can also do some nice things for you, like activating switches and stuff. We'll see later on in this chapter. Yeah, that's all for it about Seekers so far. All for now.
Yeah, you're gonna see on Sefi's screen, I think in a couple of rooms, you have him go for the top button.
Yeah, and one real quick thing, once you jump on them, like on Sefi's screen, they are just stunned for a short amount of time. They are not dead, because if they were dead, this game would be easy, and this game isn't easy.
Yeah, that was nice.
But yeah, so far Sefi got a nice lead compared to the others, and Teddy is a little bit behind and got also his lead against like Malk and Eichi. And Eichi is like currently in third place in his race on second. And Mac is a little bit behind, but Malk is a little bit behind. So Mark is a little bit behind, but yeah, he's the less experienced one. He's a newcomer to this game, so yeah, it's no shame to be not as good as these runners, because there are some runners who are already ridiculously good. But he's doing so far a really good job as a new runner, I would say. He's pulling off some cool strats in some rooms and stuff. So yeah, watch him if you want to see some more interesting looking strats sometimes.
Yeah, that was quite the interesting strat.
And also one thing we forgot to mention on Sefi's screen, but we can mention on Teddy's screen, is some very important skip in this chapter. So normally in this in this area Teddy is now in, you have to like search for two keys to open up a path for a red bubble to launches you all the way through this long hallway. But with that, what he just did there, you can skip this entire part, which saves like 2 to 3 minutes. And what he technically did there was an extended backwards dash jump. It sounds very technical, but it's fairly easy, let's be honest. So with that, you can get over this gap and yeah, save a lot of time. It's like, if you're interested in learning the speedrun, it's like the only trick you have to learn in order to like get a good speedrun done.
Yeah,
and it's not that hard to learn. What were you about to say? Sorry for cut you off.
Oh, I said that was the first trick I learned, and second one was door skip.
No, don't start with door skip. So what's your time, anyways then?
Well, I just PB'd by about a minute, so I think I have actually I can check.
What? I think your mic cut off somehow.
I have a 46:58.
Ah, okay. Yeah, our times are very close. Like, my time is 7 seconds faster than yours. I also got my PB like 3 hours earlier than today.
I think I lost 7 seconds to door skip.
Okay, anyways, we're not about to talk about our times. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, just go on to this run. We can talk later privately about it if you want. Anyways, currently you see, or right now you see, Sefi is done with chapter 5, now entering chapter 6, where you see those feathers. You just jump into them or dash into them, what you want, and you can fly through the air then, which is, yeah, a lot of fun. Do you want to explain real quick those cavern blocks?
Yeah, so Kevin blocks are named after the man that made the noise blah 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 blah. And they, depending on where you dash into them, they will move in a different direction. And they give you a ton of speed, so you're gonna see a lot of crazy speed in this chapter from the Kevin blocks. Feathers, we haven't mentioned feathers. They move in more than 8 directions. So runners that use the D-pad have to switch to analog for the cleanest movement.
Yeah.
As
I just want to say, like, most runners are using control stick for feathers, but not all.
Yeah, I use control stick.
Yeah, it feels more comfortable, and you can do like tighter movement and stuff. Like, D-pad feels too strong of an impact.
Yeah, it's too strong. We gotta be held back by something.
So now in chapter 6 you have like the opportunity to choose between a bottom and an upper path. And probably, like, that's probably the part where people can choose most between the threats. Like, there's no right or wrong. There are just rooms that are a little bit faster than others, or a little more optimized, I would say. So yeah, go for the rooms you are most used to and you feel comfortable with. Yeah, but most people go mixture between bottom and upper path, because some rooms in the bottom path are way faster than the upper path rooms, and the opposite. So yeah, that's about that part right there on Sefi's screen, for example, and I think Teddy also entered that part already.
And these are bumper. I think they're just called bumpers, and
Yeah,
they will.
Just a bumper.
Yeah, they will launch Madeline, taking the safety feather by Sefi, very smart. And they will launch Madeline in any direction, in any angle that she approaches it. And you can also get a really fast speed boost if you dash into it and then hold the opposite direction.
Yeah, not only an good speed boost, you will also cover double the distance with that technique. You can do the one like skip, you can skip technically one bumper if you do that. But yeah, normally you just might do it for the speed. But sometimes you gotta be precise with the timing. Actually, very interesting, Teddy is going for that upper room. I rarely see this. Because that upper room is very hard, in my opinion. So yeah, Malk is just about to finish the... it's about to go to the search skip. Meanwhile, Sefi is about to face Madeline. We will cover real quick. And Teddy and Sefi and Aichi are also on their way to Madeline. So do you want to explain Madeline?
Yeah, so Madeline Fight has one of the best songs in the game.
Hey, yeah.
And so you dash into her, and every time you dash into her, she goes a little bit backwards and sends you backwards. So you just want to dash as soon as you can get out of the knockback. Ooh, just slightly under that block. Very nice. And so you're just going to see a lot of just getting forward as fast as you possibly can to get into Madeline. This room always makes me laugh because there's a Celeste tutorial by Ben TZ, and he goes, this room has an L block, so you're gonna need to take the L. Okay, it's good.
Yo, I didn't know that. I wasn't paying attention to that bad tutorial then. But yeah, so in a casual playthrough, Madeline is very tough, and in a speedrun, it can be also very tough, don't get me wrong, but most players have not that big of a deal because most threats are very consistent and optimized, so you don't have that much of a problem with Madeline's projectiles and stuff. It's very nice to play through this entire part if once you learn the strategies. It feels so amazing all the time. Also, one thing I want to mention, which is very weird, you might notice that the hitbox of Madeline is very kind, you just have to get into her, near range and you're about to hit her, and sometimes you are able to hit her and to get hit by her laser or her balls at the same time, which will cause very interesting looking deaths. That's one thing I experience a lot in Madeline fights. You can also cause a sound bug if you I think die and then pause or something. I don't know. I've got it once or twice while I was practicing it. But yeah, it's very interesting what you can do sometimes with Madeline, but it's not intended really.
Yeah, I think I heard in an interview that it was actually intended just as a special thing for speedrunners.
interesting.
Because most people normally don't really reset.
Yeah, that is like when you fall into your death in the casual playthrough, you're just falling to the death and don't think about, yeah, I have to reset. I don't think there was anyone casually playing this game and thinking this. So yeah, Sefi just finished the fight, so now he's teaming up with Battle, and what does that mean, Chocolate?
That means he has 2 dashes for the rest of the game. So you're gonna see a lot of wall bounces getting up here. And I think wall bounces is my favorite speed tech.
Yeah, it feels very nice. I have some problems with it, honestly, but yeah, they feel very cool. Also very interesting or very cool, like now you have 2 dashes, so and the game was already fast-paced as hell, and now it's even more fast-paced. 9 deaths there in the chapter, very decent. Like, I would be happy about 9 deaths.
Yeah, Mal is coming up on the very end of the Theo section, going into Reflection.
Yeah, we got one thing we didn't mention was Theo. So Theo is a friend of us, now prisoned in the crystal in the end of chapter 5. And we have to carry him around, and technically he slows us down when we carrying him, but once we like got momentum and then grabbing him, he gives us a nice boost. It's very weird, and yeah, Theo is his own thing, and you really gotta like learn your movement with Theo separately, but it's very interesting.
Yeah, Theo is my favorite escort mission.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely in the first part it was very annoying for me, but it's definitely nowadays like my most fun part to play through the speedrun.
Sefi and Teddy very close to each other. Sefi into the I think it's 500. It's the old city.
Yeah,
or old site.
Yeah, they're on that point, you're right. Yeah, I just want to point out that Teddy and Sefi are like technically 1 minute apart from each other. And yeah, there's still everything open, but yeah, we will see who will win the race between these two, even if they're not technically racing against each other.
This is always one of the harder sections because it's the one area where you don't wave dash into every room.
Yeah, it feels so weird. Like as a speedrunner, you will always want to be like super fast, so you wave dash all the time, and then sometimes you realize, wait, you don't want to wave dash or hyper dash into that room, and it feels very like then you will die and feel bad.
So Sefi took a death at the end of the room, so TeDeMos is gaining.
Yeah, some rooms are, as I said, are very costly if you die at the very end, because there are very long rooms where you, with just a death, you might lose 10-15 seconds. So yeah. Now the returns of green blocks, and with 2 dashes, you can imagine we are constantly dashing, and it's fast-paced gameplay. Like, this is probably the most loved section of the game in the speedrun community, and probably also casually. It's a more loved section of the game.
Yeah, it's a very fun section. You just get a lot of momentum. You get a lot of all the movement text just coming together, making for a really good ending. Scary thing is, don't skip cutscene too early though.
Yeah, that might happen sometimes, like, then we just say nice cutscene skip, because the input for cutscene skipping is the same for resetting, and if the cutscene didn't start it, and you do it too early, you're then just resetting, which causes a death, and at the end of the room costs a lot of time, and it's very painful. It's like probably the most painful time lost in a speedrun. Like, you got the room correctly done, everything is over, but you just slightly started to try to skip the cutscene a little bit too early, and then you lose like time for free, which is, yeah, not really cool.
Yeah, 1500, the area Sefi's in right now, is one of the scariest parts of the game. There's just a lot of really tight corners and moving pieces that can kill you.
Yeah, so the 1500 meter section is, at least for me, and also for a lot of others, the hardest section of the game, because dust bunnies and very long rooms and just hard gameplay. You're happy when you get through this very nicely, without that many deaths and stuff.
Really smooth diagonal dashes by Eichinator, and TeDeMos is very close behind Sefi.
Yeah, they are putting on a nice show, even though they are not technically racing against each other. They are doing a good job, taking the race between these two at least very cool looking, and still close.
Teddy missing the wall bounce, so taking the backup strat, you can dash in between those two rooms and you will actually get your dash back, so you can get very high heights, and there's a berry and a heart that use that strategy to get. Teddy entering my favorite auto-scroller skip right here. Let's see if he can pull it off. Very nice, that's the first part. Now he just needs one wall bounce. Perfect.
So yeah, that was one of those auto-scroller parts I mentioned earlier in chapter 4. And yeah, that skip looks very cool and saves a lot of time, but I think it's one of the more harder skips, and it's always nice if you try to go for it and get it first try. It feels always amazing. I assume so, because I don't go for it yet myself, but I think the feeling must be amazing, because the skill is actually very hard, as far as it looks like. And I always hear people arguing, oh man, auto-scroller skip is so hard and I don't get it first try, I'm so bad at it, and stuff. So yeah, I think it's one of the hardest tricks in the game.
Sefi, so that's one of the harder jumps in the game. You have to do it right at the very top, and then another jump, which lets you skip going down a room to get a bubble.
Yeah, it's like yet again another spike jump to skip. Like, it's called key skip, but we're not technically skipping the key. We're just skipping the casual way to the key. And now Sefi is going for door skip.
First try.
So yeah, door skip is like, it saves 1 second, it's hard to pull off. Or not hard to pull off, but it's more riskier than a casual strat. So it's more or less a meme and stuff. So don't go for door skip. Even though the entire community is saying the opposite, just don't go for it. Is what I would suggest.
Sefi just flying through. Let's see, TeDeMos going for door skip. This is hype. Nice. Both runners saving a second off their time. Teddy entering 3000M.
So yeah, 3000 is just like a nice finishing touch of the game with various like different, how to say it, like a lot of different gameplay mechanics you have to pull off. You have to like get through if you want to get through this entire last part. But it's a very epic part to play through. The music is getting very hype, and it's actually a lot of fun gameplay on this part. I really enjoy playing through FIFA 3000 every time.
TeDeMos neutral jumping up with the harsh wind against him, and he prevails. Eichinator going for the key skip right there. Let's see if he can get it. Nice. Mal is on the, I believe, the last room of the battle and fight.
Yeah, that's the last one. He's a little bit behind the other players, but yeah, that's okay. He's on a good pace with his 101. Or one, I think his time is 1:00:34. He mentioned earlier in the chat. So yeah, close to sub 40, finishing chapter 6 is very good for such a PB, honestly.
Sefi is very close to the end. He's gonna be skipping that flag. Very nice. What is Sefi's PB?
Somebody told me earlier in the chat, but I don't know. Wait, maybe I will find.
I think it was like a 45. Let me actually check real quick. $45.55. So this is a.
Wait, what? 45 really?
Yeah, 45. So.
Okay, that's.
This is gonna be great to see.
Like, even on such a high skill level. Probably a 4-minute PB is very cool. Like, I won't expect something, honestly, but it still can happen. Like, you can expect such things in the very beginning, but not at such a high skill level. Oh, the chat is saying he's got a 41:09.
Well, this is still, though, oh...
He didn't submit it, yeah, it's still PB pace. It's doable. Closely, but it's doable if you don't die yet.
Definitely doable, definitely doable.
So now just don't die. Flag 1 is very easy till the end. You can do it. That looks okay.
Went for the sideways boost.
And
hey,
there
let's
he goes.
Go. Sub 40,
feels so
50.
nice, probably. So yeah, that's our first run of finishing Sefi. I think we can have an interview with him. I hope so, at least. And yeah, then we can talk to him a little bit.
Sefi playing with our hearts, as the chat says.
Meanwhile, Teddy is also about to finish soon. Is he also going to get a PB? Can the chat please answer this? Maybe?
I think that's a PB. It was like 1 minute PB according to Mupin P, who is Sefi. Sefi swapping forms to tell us tales.
He's not at home, which sounds very interesting. I don't know how he's able to stream that, but yeah.
He's playing some Nintendo Switch Celeste or something.
Yeah, I'm also having on the Switch, but like the place where you are, you still need a way to record it from it properly. So, no, not everybody has something like that. So yeah, maybe we can have an interview with Teddy.
Yeah, Eichinator. Is very close to the end as well.
Eichi.
Flag 6 for Eichinator. So, fun fact, flag 5 is automatically grabbed, so even if you don't grab it, it is still your respawn point. Because it's the start of a screen. Oh man, that was really rough. He just ran out of stamina at the very end of the climb there. Coming up on the very end for Eichinator. Very nice. Let's see you finish. Sub 45.
So yeah, also GG's to IT. I don't think that's a PB, but still a very good one.
Malk going through 1500, one of the hardest levels, let's see. So he's actually opting for a safer option, which is just to skip the strawberry room and just go through here, and it's a lot easier than going through the other room and having to do the whole wave dash thing, extended wave dash or whatever. At the very end, nice, avoids the dust bunny. It's always very scary, the last very end of that room. So he's also opting to skip this strawberry room and just go the normal way. Which I haven't seen it in a while, so it's nice to see.
Maybe he's also not like aware of that route, as B already mentioned. He's a newer runner, so maybe he's not aware of every optimized route. Like I'm most aware. Like like 10 runs ago, I also used to go this route. He was just going there because I didn't know that you can go just a strawberry room, which is fast. Like I saw it, but I know it was a thing, but I never know how to imply it very actually, and I was also scared of that I fail a lot in the strawberry room because I never run through it.
Yeah, it's good to stick to what you know. Oh, that was very close getting rid of the...
yeah, it looked very interesting. But yeah, well done. Oh no. So it seems like we can have an interview with Eichi or however. We will get him in now.
I know the first question I'm asking. How to pronounce your name.
Yeah, I was thinking about the same. So you just ask it then.
Now coming up on the one of the very last streams. All he has left after this is Mirror Temple and then 3000M.
So then we got our runner, Eshi, who lost the race but still put on a nice show. So how are you feeling after the race?
Well, yeah. I choked really hard in the early chapter, I'd say. And I felt comfortable in Summit, but only until like, I don't know, 3000 mark maybe. Well, yeah. Sefi was like just too strong. He was insanely good. He was playing insanely good. That's...
Yeah, he was playing very good. So one question we are both like wondering about: how to pronounce your name?
You can either go with Eichinator or Eichinator, whatever you like.
Okay. And one other question I just have to put right away.
Yep.
Where are you from?
I'm from Switzerland.
Oh, okay. So do you speak German then?
Yeah, I speak German.
Yeah, then this name makes more sense for me.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Okay, so maybe Chocolate has one more question for you.
I was gonna ask how to pronounce your name, but what's your favorite speed tech in the run?
Oh, that's difficult, man. Oof. I can't really tell, or I can't really say what's my favorite. I love to hyperdash, but yeah, I'm obviously bad at the moment at it. So well, I'm pretty rusty. So.
So
and what's your favorite particular skip in the run?
Or
I'd say now it's door skip because
oh no,
I practiced it today, and I was like, I had the stream open and I saw Sefi was so far ahead, and I was like, let's just go for door skip, let's just try it, and I got it first try. So favorite skip
yeah,
in the
that's
game.
really nice.
Yeah. Well, it happened.
So another question I've got is, how far was your group stage? No, how good was your group phase so far, and do you think you will proceed to the bracket stage?
It's hard to say. I had 2 races right now, until now, and I won 1, I lost 1. So yeah, I was 4th seed in when I came into the tournament, and yeah, I lost to, I think, I don't know what Sefi was, PB was when he joined the tournament, but obviously it's so much better now, and yeah, it's gonna be hard. I really have to practice if I want to make it out of group stage, I'd say, because like there are the big guys like Problem and Akers, which I think it's really hard to beat them. They have to do something bad. So, big things, man. It's just, yeah, it's gonna be hard for me.
Okay, and like my final question is there anything else you want to say to like the chat or speed gaming in general?
Well, I definitely try to get back into Celeste speedrunning more to get my PB back on the leaderboard, a better PB, obviously. Like, I really wanted to get 40, sub 40 somewhere.
So what's your current PB? I don't know right now.
On the leaderboard, it's like 41, 08, I think.
Oh, okay.
And and when I'm running, now I'm obviously running actively again. It's at the moment like 40 to 50. So I need to grind a little bit more to get back to that and maybe even beat it. So, but there are some skips.
I think you will be fine on that soon. Yeah. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed your little interview here. We wish you best luck on your future upcoming tournament races. When is your, do you already schedule your next race?
Yeah, next one is Thursday at 10 a.m. EDT against Problem. So
yeah, still good luck on it. At least try to have fun, and probably you will PB.
Yeah, I hope so.
Wish you best luck.
Thank you, man.
So yeah, I think that's it with the interview. If Chocolate has not anything else to ask you,
now I'll let you go free.
Okay.
So yes, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Wish you a good night, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna commentate later, so.
Oh, okay. So have fun on that.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
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 So I assume we are just going to finish that race, and
yeah, Mal's very close to the end. This could be like a huge 5-minute PB or something for him.
Yeah, he just gotta stay focused and stuff.
Yeah, coming up on one of the longest flags here. Nice, just gets through there. This part's pretty tight. He manages to get through it. Very nice.
Yeah, some parts of 3,000 meters are actually very tight or hard to get through, especially if you are casually playing in this game and get there the first time. You will die there a lot, honestly. But yeah, as a speedrunner, you play through that parts a lot, actually a lot. So you will get used to it and have an easier time with it.
So this is just the very end. He is an hour for his PB, so definitely looking like a good improvement here. Waiting out the feathered end, very smart.
Second flag, so very close to his goal. He's able to get a mid to lows 56 if he's not just focusing. And don't die, please don't die. This part isn't that hard. Just play it nice and safe. You can do it.
I hope you didn't just commentator's curse.
I hope not.
Be able to make it. There he goes.
I commentated curse already a lot, so yeah, 56-25. Very nice, and yeah, GG's to malkuckn, PB by a lot there. Very well done. Maybe we can get a quick interview with him as well. But yeah, also not only 92 deaths, which is for a 56. Honestly, very, very good. I've got a 56 with 130 deaths. So there he is, Malk, finally in here with his PB. His mic is yet muted, but yeah, just wait. There we go. So yeah,
GG.
Mark, how do you feel after that PB? And GG's to your PB.
Thanks, guys. GG to the other guys. They played amazing. I feel pretty nice, pretty good. That was a real good summit for me personally.
Yeah, I believe so. And also only 92 deaths. I assume that's your lowest death counter by far, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so it feels nice to not die that often, and then you just save a ridiculous amount of time. So, is there anything else? You just already mentioned that your summit was very good. Is there anything else that went pretty well for you in that race?
I mean, for me, pretty much everything worked out pretty good, I'd say, because yeah, my PB is like 4 minutes slower. So yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with that run.
Yeah, really cool. So, Chocolate, is there a question you maybe got?
Yeah, what made you want to get into speedrunning Celeste?
Actually, I had the game, or bought the game in the Steam Summer Sale, and then I saw it at GDQ, and that made me want to run it, pretty much.
I think that's the answer from most new runners. That's the same reason I started running this game. Because I got amazed by TGH and Yoshi Pro.
Yeah. I mean, without the tournament going on, I probably wouldn't have started speedrunning it, but
I think so,
it
too.
more casually.
Yeah. So, as you mentioned, the tournament is a really cool place to get started speedrunning this game and get an easier way into the community. So
yeah, the Discord is really helpful in terms of like learning stuff and learning strats and stuff.
If you are interested, to chat, if there's anybody who's not speedrunning this game yet and is very interested into it, just start right now. There are so many helpful people and friendly people in here. So, is there anything else you want to mention to speed gaming and stuff? Mark?
Yeah, thanks for the commentary, guys, and for the restream. I mean, you restream so many races nowadays, it's ridiculous. Very good job, guys.
Yeah, especially shout-outs to entire speed gaming stuff. They're doing something really amazing. It's also a lot of work behind it, so drop support and love for speed gaming, honestly. They're doing amazing
Yeah, I've been
work.
having a ton of fun commentating and playing in the tournament.
Yeah, and also drop some support and follows for all these amazing runners. They put on amazing shows, and they just played very well, honestly. Also you, Malk, you played also well. So I think that's it with that run today, or for right now, and I think we just have to finish up because the next race is already waiting. And yeah, my name is Slash177, here with Chocolate Cake and still Mile. And I hope you will all have a good night, day, or just stay tuned for more action on speed gaming. And yeah, we're just going to head off. Good night and bye.
Stay true.